Hello everyone, I'm back with a new series, and in this series I will use some very basic Flutter application development as per the requirement of my course in the university that I'm taking this semester. So this is the first time and also the first series I use English as the main language in my videos on YouTube. So I really need your feedback. Okay, so today's topic is how to install Flutter on Windows. So the step we need to follow, the first is, grab all the ingredients. You need to have the Java downloaded on your system, Java Flutter SDK. And because I really hate Android Studio developer because they are way too heavy and also RAM consuming that cause the lag on my computer. So I prefer the way of Android command line tools. So if you prefer the official installation approach, then they are all documented very clearly on the official website of Flutter. Okay, next the we need to know how to work with environmental variables, and to check that every time you update the variable. I'm using Windows 10. Every time you update the env variable, you need to open a new cmd windows in order for it to take change to take effect. And you can check with the command echo path. Okay, so as you can see, I already have the Java home here, and this variable is a result of me installing uh, Flutter of this morning. The variable we are interested in is the path variable. When we add some file path in this list, then this folder defines are then visible by application on the global scope. So that means that any application can search through this path and access the necessary files they need to find. Okay, and this is the final result of my installation. Next is yes, the next is we need to install some part of the tool, right? Some part of the Android SDK through the SDK manager command. And in details, I recommend you to refer to the installation guide video of the Flutter teacher channel, which I will introduce later. Okay, so how I did that? So okay, I installed command line tools, and I extract the command line tools I downloaded from the Android developer web. Right, you can download it here. This is just an overlay of Google Chrome, I believe. So the UI here is exactly the same way you search on Google. Okay, we scroll down a bit to find command line tools, just only 150 megabytes. So yeah, I extracted it and I move inside my Android folder. This command line tool bin and lib. I create a new folder named latest, and then I move all of the file inside it. Then I go to this directory, and I run some command with the ADK manager. Next, I will run Flutter Doctor hyphen v verbose mode to see if my installation are all correct. So it should go in something like this. It should go something like this. Okay. So because I have declared this as a path for Flutter on my environmental variables, so it can find the Flutter. We also have a Windows version 10 or higher. I have an Android toolchain at this folder, which I also put it inside the environment variables. Android home, Android SDK root, Java. This is a Java home variable we have seen earlier. Uh, okay, Chrome, Visual Studio. Visual Studio and Windows SDK is for developing Windows application. But in the scope of this course, we don't need that. We just need to develop a cross-platform mobile application. So I just need Android and iOS. I still haven't figured out how to connect to my device real time and test my app on the real device yet, but I have figured out a way to create a virtual device using an emulator, and all of that with doing without we are relying on the Android Studio. So that's very efficient. Okay. About the emulator, I also want to refer you to some other tutorials that are already available on YouTube. But in my case, it's a rare case because I have used almost all of my C disk space because there are too many applications installed, and the space requirement for the virtual device is about 7 gigabytes. 7 gigabytes. So that's that's really horrible. So how I have gone through that, and you can see this is our home directory that contain that is our user home that contain the data for each application, and they will be stored in the form of doc application name, and the AVD will be installed inside this doc Android. So I don't want that. I want to utilize my e-disk, which is far more quite more space left, and inside that I create a folder named Android and Android user home that have the same the exactly same function as the doc Android folder. And by specifying the environment variable, by specifying the Android AVD home, but which I believe we don't need, but we need Android home. By specifying this path, then the AVD will be installed inside the E disk, which may be helpful. The last part is easy, right? VS Code is very supportive of almost any language available, with a very large community, and the Flutter extension is wonderful, right? So I have created an example Flutter app via the command. I don't remember that much. Flutter create first app, maybe that. Okay, Flutter create. Then inside this, I can choose the emulator. Oh, I can choose the emulator. Okay, and I have to credit Zen AI for my content because without Cloud AI, I wouldn't have been finished it so fast. Mm, I don't remember where I put it. Okay, yeah, yeah. It give me the command to install the Android virtual device, Android virtual device, and I just it's a much more faster than just walking through a whole video on YouTube. Maybe you take 10 minutes, but now with AI you can take just 1 minute, copy in all the command, and then 1 hour fixing all the error you have caused by blindly applying AI result. So what I want to say is it's very helpful, but we need to be careful. We need to be wise. Okay, I consulted on how to create an uh, Android virtual device, and I will run. I will run it. You can refer to this and just some search keyword, and basically any YouTube video may work. But Flutter teacher have the very good style of presentation and guiding, so I hope he can help you. And I'm really happy with his choice because Android Studio is a floating app, and now when I'm using this option, I barely survived on my 3 years old laptop. Okay, so that's it for today. So thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and wait for the newest content. Thank you. Oops, it's me again. It's like I forgot to run the first app. Okay, so after we create the app, we have this option to create Android emulator. So which command I will use? I will use emulator because this emulator is installed and add to the bat. Okay, I see my device. Now I will run it. I will start. Let's see. Okay, so it's already put up, and we can see the effect it have on my computer. The size it take about 2 GB. So if I have put it in the C disk, then my computer would crash. Okay, so now I connect to my test device because I have already selected test device earlier. So now it become my default option, and then I could run. Okay, I could run start debugging. And let's see. So overall, my first impression for Flutter is that it has a very similar syntax compared to Kotlin. You see this syntax of declaring the UI in a very descriptive way, and I think it's easy for beginner to approach. Okay, and this is state manager. Just like React, we keep we keep track of some variable to have an interactive UI. It look like the application have stored successfully, and and now what? And now what? We have a simple counter app. Yes, this is the hello world for any UI application. Okay, so thank you for watching, and the debugger is very useful. We can restore hot reload. So okay, for example, if I change the color here, for example, I really love the pink color. I can also change accent. Can I? No. Okay, just color pink, and then I save. I say the program, and yeah, it's hot reloaded. Hot reloaded. Okay, so now I change to blue. Hmm. Change to blue. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. I say the file, and yes, it hot reloaded. But there's some case we need to restart our app. Okay, so I will just stop it here, and I power off my device. Hey, turn off, please. Please turn off. Okay, there may be some command here, so I will press Control C, and yes, and it's turned off. It turned off, and the disk space should be returned. I don't know, should be returned or not. Okay, so yeah, so that's it. Thank you.